What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Cork to Glory. This is episode number 34. And we start today's episode with our first away day of the season on the back of the season opener, the 3-1 victory against Norwich City, where Barry Sharkey, in his first ever game as official Cork City captain, scored and led us to victory on match day 1 of 46. So for our first away game of the season, away at the Medeski against Reading. Well, briefly in the last episode, you heard me touch on it. I said this season, well, I want to finish in the playoffs and push for a top 2 place, but the only way we're going to be able to do that is if we win away from home more consistently and more regularly than we did last season and don't always lose in England or Wales. First away day of the season, we lose by 1-0 against Reading. Yep, some things never change. Death, taxes, and Cork City failing to win in England. Yes, for some reason I just can't win away from home, and I briefly mentioned it last season. I say briefly, I mention it every single episode. I think it is a psychological thing. I don't think it's the game putting my players at a disadvantage, although they do feel slower and technically worse off as well. But maybe it's just a psychological thing. But I've got to get this sorted, man. Again, this season I'm pushing for promotion to the Premier League. We're a 3.5-star team. We've more than got the squad to be able to finish in the top 6 minimum, but yeah, we've got to win away from home more consistently this season. So the worst possible start, first away day, and I was thinking, right, let's make a statement, let's thrash Reading 4 or 5-0. Nope, lost the game by 1-0. For the second game of today's episode here, it was the Carabao Cup first round against Colchester United away from home. Last season we were knocked out at this stage by Pompey, another lower league side, and this season around we also get knocked out in the first round we enter. And honestly, that's totally fine with me. I really don't mind. I'm never going to throw the games or simulate them. I'll always play them. You know me, I don't simulate unless it's a totally meaningless game. And even then I'll normally play it anyway. But for these games here, I'll always feel the weakened side. And if we go out, we go out. If we go through, we go through. There's no pressure for me. I really don't mind one bit what happens. So we're out early. And to be honest, with 46 games in the league this season, that's probably a bit of a blessing in disguise. So for match day 3 even, and our third game of today's episode here in the Championship, welcoming Ralph Hasenhüttl, Southampton. Now, I showed you the league table in the last episode. Obviously, as I always say when I'm closing out a season, take the league tables you see with a pinch of salt, because as we know, they often change when you reload the save and go back in. So, Southampton last season, I don't believe we're in the bottom 3 when I showed you them on the season finale, but to start the campaign off, they were in the Championship. So, just like last season with Brighton being in the second tier, I saw Southampton as the front runners for this division, and that they would be the strongest team, and like Graham Potter's side last year, they would run away with the Championship title like Brighton did last season. But instead, heading into this game, because we were at home, despite back-to-back defeats, they were both away, and thus I felt very confident of returning to winning ways here. And we would as well. We'd beat Hasenhüttl's side by 2-1. Eamon Cunningham bagging a brace. I'll tell you what, guys, I know I mention it sometimes, but he is so bloody good. He is honestly been one of my favourite youth players that I've had in FIFA 21 in any save I've done. He is so good, and I love the fact I've trained up his skill moves to 5-star now. He's just so good. Really awesome, but still 2 on the final score, and what a win there against Southampton. They're the strongest team in this league. They're a 4.5-star team. I believe the only 4.5-star team in this division, but I honestly, man, taking them on because we were at home, I felt very confident. And this is just sort of Cork City seasons in a nutshell at the moment, apart from season 1, where ironically we were better away from home than we were at home. Taking on Barnsley at Oakwell for match day 4, and yet despite beating the Saints by 2-1, Barnsley are one of the weaker teams in this division, yet we were trailing by 1-0. So after the restart, still down by 1, I was thinking, right, sod this. I'm not having 3 straight defeats away from home in all competitions to start this season off. No, I made a point in the season opener. We're going to have a better away record this season, and we're going to pick up more points on the road and when we go to England. So Samuel Bell belts one in from range and puts us back on level terms, and then a few minutes later, oh yeah baby, he is so goddamn clinical. This is why Mourinho wanted him to replace Harry Kane. This is why he stays at Turner's Cross. What a lovely ball into the middle, and there's Bell with the first time volley to drill it home and make it 2-1 and get his second goal in 12 minutes to turn the game on its head. Now, I'll tell you this, man, for the final few minutes, I should have included some defensive highlights, because I was literally playing lockdown defense on Barnsley. I was like, I am not giving up this win. This is a win for me. I'm not giving up this win. I didn't sound like that, I promise. But seriously though, man, I was literally just like gripping the controller so much, I thought I was going to break it. I was just so determined to make sure that would be my first away day victory of the season, and it was. Hoodoo broken away at Oakwell. Finally we get a win away from home. So yeah, Barnsley 1, Cork City 2, first away day victory of the season. And for our 5th game of today's episode, Nottingham Forest back here at Turner's Cross. I was thinking, right, this should be a banker. Forest starting the season off poorly, we're off to a great start, this should be an easy win. Well, we fell behind early, but right before the half an hour mark, Samuel Bell, who last season finished runner-up in the race for the Golden Boot, gets another one there as he gets his 4th of the campaign and makes it 1-1. God knows what happened here a minute and a half before the break, but Leo Yates somehow got his feet muddled up, not for the first time this series, as Forest get back in front there with a lovely chip over Bazunu as it's 2-1. So trailing at a break and risking our first home defeat of the season, but 20 minutes after the restart, well, they are our 2 best players in this team. As much we love Barry and Leo and Rory as well, these 2 are the main guys, and they link up for our 2nd goal of the game. Eamon Cunningham across to that man once again. Samuel Bell off to a red hot start this season as he gets us back on level terms for the 2nd time in the game. Out of 8 minutes to go, still tied at 2-2, looking for a late winner, putting the pressure on Nottingham Forest, not settling for a point, but wanting another big victory. We keep this chance alive. Rory Devine finds Nicholson, holds it up, finds Ethan Elliott, and what a finish there by, let's just call him what he is now, the Ryan Giggs regen. Yep, we love Ethan Elliott, the left winger, with a brilliant finish into the back of the net, and with 6 minutes on the clock, and number 15 scores goal number 1 for the season. He had a brilliant end to last season, Elliott, as well. He's always amongst the goals in the final 6 games, and that's a really big goal there as he wins us the game and extends what has been a fantastic record to start the campaign off. We won every single game apart from that defeat away at the Medeski. So yeah, 3-2 the final score. Great resilient win there, coming back from a goal down on 2 separate occasions. And as you look at the international break email here, players on international duty, look at the amount of players that are going on international duty, man, including for the first time ever, Barry Sharkey. Yes, the first ever call up for the Shark. He's going away on international duty of Ireland, as is Patrick Keating as well. He's got his first call up too. They'll miss the Blackburn Rovers game at the start of next month. We're going to have like half our first team squad missing for that game. That's going to be a big blow. But still, for the final game of today's episode and the final game of the month of August as well, taking on Birmingham City at St Andrews. Last season they got to the playoff final only to be beaten by Stoke City at Wembley by a 1-0. So this season they'll be going for playoff football once again. We took the early lead though, Sharkey crossing the ball in, and Samuel Bell, what a start for our number 9, makes it 1-0. And whilst the Blues would get back on level terms here right before the break, they had a chance to get in front and turn the game on its head. Lovely through ball and the finish past Bazunu as well, as the Blues battle back from a goal down to make it 2-1 right before the break. And I was thinking, I've seen this story before, leading away from home and then totally capitulating. So from a goal up to 2-1 down, trailing in this game, but I didn't want our 2nd away defeat of the season, obviously, and with 5 minutes to go, I had to do it. I know I don't do it often, but sometimes you just got to do it, baby, and I just needed to do it there. Eamon Cunningham going through one-on-one, but he spots to his right-hand side his bro, Samuel Bell. These 2 have an amazing partnership, and he just sweats it across, and Bell's not going to miss from 6 yards out with the open goal. Rescues us a point right towards the end of the game. And this is a much better start away from home this season than last season. 1 win, 1 draw and 1 defeat in our first 3 away days. I'll certainly take 4 points from 9 considering how bad we were last season. So as transfer deadline day will come round, as you would see, I was in the market for a new striker. Now I'd love Adam Ida, Aaron Connolly, Troy Parrott or Michael Obafemi, but unfortunately they're a little bit out of our price range right now. I really like Ricky J. Jones. A few of you guys have told me about him. He's got great growth and great potential in this year's FIFA, but unfortunately Peterborough wouldn't let him go. But I thought there is a player with his deal up come the end of the year, so I can get him on the cheap and for undervaluation. I negotiated a £1.25 million deal with Preston North End for former Cork City striker Sean Maguire. Yep, he spent the last few years at Deepdale, but his contract is up coming the end of the year. And I need a better, reliable striker for the bench. Samuel Bell always has to start in this team and carry the load. I need someone who can come off the bench and give him a breather from time to time. Sean Maguire can do that. High medium work rate. He's absolutely rapid with 92 acceleration and 88 sprint speed. He's the quickest player in this team. That's one thing we're lacking here with Cork as well, which is real raw pace. And off the bench as well, he's so much better than Ewan Plant. As we know, the Plant was our top scorer back in League 2, but there's a big difference between League 2 and the Championship. He can't cut it at this level. I need a striker to give Samuel Bell a breather every now and then, and Maguire coming off the bench with that pace and the high medium work rates in late game situations. Yeah, for $1.25 million. I know he's 29 years old, but to bring back a former Cork City striker to Turner's Cross, yeah, I just had to do it, and I'm buzzing about that signing. Welcome back to Turner's Cross, Sean Maguire. But that word is episode of Cork to Glory though, guys. So big thank you for watching. I really hope you have enjoyed it, and if you have enjoyed today's episode, then please do drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you for the next episode of Cork to Glory as we play through September and October as well, with loads of fixtures coming. Hopefully keeping a good start to the season up as well very soon.